Welcome to Lifeline! Woo!
I'm actually using this for something today. I'm not just turning it on because I'm, a teenager and like to be on my phone all the time. Promise. La, la. We're going to talk about that. So basically what I have to say today, usually when I say something, it's because something happened to me and that reminds me of a thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about. But basically it goes about like this. I'm up here a lot. I'm on the stage a lot. And I feel like a lot of you guys kind of feel like you know who I am because I'm here all the time. There we go, got it. And a lot of people get to see me. So I wanted to know exactly how much you guys know about me. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to say some things, and I can't see any of you. And if you know them about me, you can go ahead and raise your hand, because I just want to see how much we all know about me. Raise your hand if you know that my name is Eli. Lots of hands, pretty cool. Raise your hand if you know that I like to sing. That's, all the time. Raise your hand if you know that I'm 20. Yeah, no longer a teenager. A few less hands because people start knowing a little less about me. Raise your hand if you know that I'm a Scorpio Sagittarius cusp. Nobody knows that. Raise your hand if you know that when I was a kid, I used to collect dead animal bones. My mom and a couple of my family members, that's about it. Raise your hand if you know that my favorite colors are purple and silver. Mostly family. You're close enough. You can half do this. I got it kind of. Raise your hand if you know that I suffer from major depressive disorder. Raise your hand if you know that I have a personality disorder called borderline personality. Raise your hand if you know that I've been on antidepressants. Raise your hand if you know that I've attempted suicide twice. Raise your hand if you guys know that while I'm up here looking out at you, I'm wondering, oh my God, this is a terrible mistake, and they're all judging me, and I should just get off the stage and leave. Because the whole point of all of that, and this oversharing that's got me all jittery, is that we don't know anything about anyone until they tell us. I mean, yeah, we get to see a little bit of them. We get to see what we think we see, what we think we know about people. And I think a lot of you look at me on the stage and you go, that is a happy human being. That is a really happy, content person who's got cool gifts and does cool stuff and is always bouncy and music and it's nice. And that's part of it. But it's not all of it. I've been through some stuff. And I know everyone else in this room has been through some stuff. But if we choose to treat people based on what they show us, then we are not treating them how they need to be. Which means that a lot of times, if we see a happy person, or a person who we think is happy, we feel like it's okay to be a little more mean to them for some reason. You see a sad person, you're like, I'm not going to be mean to that person today. That's a sad person right there. That is a sad, sad person if they're showing it outwardly. But I don't show it outwardly a lot because I work in food service and you literally can't frown at people or they will give you a bad survey and then your manager will be like, what the heck? This is a fact. This is a serious fact. I had a lady the other day in the drive-thru yell at me because lemonade is too expensive. Read the menu! I know it's expensive. I'm sorry. I'm 20. What do you want from me? I don't work in corporate. And little did she know that even though when I got to the window, and when she got to the window, that I was still smiling, is I had been taking antidepressants that were making me feel terrible, just bad. And after this whole debacle with her and the lemonade, I went to the kitchen sink to wash some dishes, and I cried for 15 minutes. Because all she got to see was, I'm really sorry about the lemonade prices. I wish there was something I could do. I hope you have a wonderful day. Please come back later. Maybe don't yell. She told me, she's like, I'm not even mad. I'm like, then why are you screaming at me? What did I do to deserve this? So basically the whole point of this was that we have to be kind to people. We have to be kind to everyone. Because I feel like if I said, raise your hand if you've suffered with depression, yeah, there's some hands. There's a lot of hands going up. And there's some hands going up from people that I wouldn't have expected hands going up. I mean, I could say basically anything and hands would go up. Raise your hand if you've had an eating disorder, raise your hand if you've been addicted, raise your hand if you tried to kill yourself, raise your hand. Because people are sad. And we like to pretend that we're not, but we are. A lot of us are. There's a lot of bad stuff going on in the world today. There's a lot more bad stuff than I like to think about. And so we have to be kind to everyone we meet, and it says so in the Bible in like a bajillion verses, and I've got like 6. But it's basically the fruits of the Spirit are love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, and self-control. And I sent that to myself because it's easier than trying to put it in a notepad, because my notepad likes to like swipe left and delete everything. And I accidentally sent that to a stranger last night, trying to send it to myself. And I received a message this morning that after, assuring, like, who are you? I was like, I'm sorry, it was a wrong message. Responded to me with, well, thank you. I needed that today, even if it was the wrong number. Whoa. It's like there's a higher power. That's the thing. So we have to be kind to everybody because we have no idea what anybody's going through. I don't know if the person on my phone was a man or a woman or a child or an adult, or if they had just found out that someone close to them had passed away, or if they're struggling with an addiction, or if they're just having a really good day and wanted to be reminded of cool things like the fruits of the Spirit, because those are nifty. So we have to be kind to everyone. I'm just repeating this because that's the point of the sermon, is we have to be kind to everyone we meet. You have to treat everyone you meet like they've just gone through the most terrible thing that they have ever gone through in their entire life. Because if you look at somebody in Walmart and they're frowning and you think, that person looks like a tool, I don't want to associate with them. They could have just gone through the worst thing that they had ever gone through in their entire life. You see somebody on the street with a sign that says need help and you go, they want money for beer. Maybe they do. That's not your decision to make. What you do and what they do with what you've done are different things. If you're kind to everyone, if you treat everyone the way that, not even just the way that you want to be treated, but the way that God would want to watch you treat someone. Yeah, ouch, that's worse. That's a lot more guilt trippy. Treat people the way you want to be treated. You gotta treat people the way God would want you to treat people. Like he's standing right here going, you did okay on that one. It's one of my favorite Bible verses is 1 Corinthians 4:8. It's about love. And this is the way that we are supposed to love people. This is the way we're supposed to love every single person we meet. If you say, I love you, and you don't mean it like this, it's not how God means it. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. It keeps no record of whether or not they're using that money to buy beer. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. We are supposed to love others as he first loved us. And I can't think that he loved us halfway. Because if he loved us halfway, there's no way that he sent his son to die for us. So if we're supposed to love others the way he loved us, we're supposed to love others with everything we have, with everything we are, with everything we've been created with, which is a significant amount of things, considering that he spent his time shaping each and every one of us by, like, magical hand. I mean, that's pretty awesome. And all of our nuances, we're supposed to love people with them. I'm supposed to love people with the fact that I can sing, and I'm supposed to love people with the fact that I've been hurt, and I'm supposed to love people with the fact that I've been in bad places. And I'm supposed to love people with the fact that I've been in good places, with the fact that I have things, that I have a house, that I have money even though I'm living paycheck to paycheck, that I have what I have, and I'm supposed to love people with what I don't. Because if you have experienced depression and you see someone struggling with depression, you have been gifted. Not gifted with depression, but gifted with the experience that comes from having it, with knowing what that place looks like. If you see someone struggling with depression and you've gone through depression, you can go, hey, I have been where you are and I want to help you. Because of this bad thing that happened to me, a good thing can come from it. Because I've been that person sitting alone at a bench in Walmart crying because it's been a really bad day. And there have been people that have looked at me and walked past me, and there have been people that have stopped. And the people that look at me and walk past me, I think, I am sorry for you that there is not enough room in your heart to look at a person who is crying and think, I should stop and help. That I don't understand it. I can't understand it. It physically hurts me if I'm, going down the road and I see somebody who has a sign that says, I need money, and I'm like, I don't have anything on me right now. I go home and I feel bad about that for the rest of the evening and into tomorrow and then some of the next week. I'm feeling bad about stuff from years ago where there have been people that I've not been able to stop because they've been in the middle of the highway and we have to go. I still feel bad. I feel bad about missed opportunities to love somebody the way that he loved me, because there is no way that if I were standing on the side of the road with a sign that said, I need money for food, and God himself drove by in the Pope Mobile, that he would not be like, hang on a minute, passenger, we have to stop in this parking lot so I can get out and sprint across 2 lanes of highway traffic to give this person $3. Because that's the kind of person, well, he's not a person, but that's the kind of example we're supposed to be living by, is this crazy out there love that we're supposed to have for everyone. And it's inconvenient and it's uncomfortable and it's a little awkward, because we're supposed to love everybody the way he loved us, and he didn't love us halfway. He didn't love us on Tuesdays when it wasn't raining and he wasn't late for work. He didn't love us when he had extra cash after he bought his PS4 or whatever the new PlayStation system is. Is that even out yet? I don't even know if that's a thing. I'm making stuff up. He didn't love us when it was convenient for him. He loved us so much that he did the ultimate, most inconvenient thing he could have ever done. He's like, I got 1 kid. Only one I'm ever going to have. I got 1 kid. And I'm going to give him to you to die. Because that's how much I love you. And that crazy, ridiculous amount of love is how we are called to love others. We're made in his image. We're not perfect the way he is, because we can't be, but we can try. And I personally think that if you are a person and you are being unkind to someone because you think that they look a little bit happier than the other person that's looking a little sad, then you have done something sincerely incorrect with the way you are trying to love people. I know Jenny said that there are kids going to schools and the kids are bullying other kids and the adults are bullying kids. I have seen it here in this church. I have been part of it, where there are people who are hurting and struggling and people who are different, and they are picked on and singled out and ridiculed. And I have seen people never walk back in those doors because of stupid things. I had a best friend once who came out as bisexual, and a person, I will not say his name because I will literally throw up if I do, who used to attend this church, told him that he never wanted to associate with him, that he was going to burn in hell, that he deserved to be dead, rather than like boys too. And I do not like quoting from Leviticus for this reason, because Leviticus makes me angry. It says, do not seek revenge or bear a grudge against anyone, which is why I'm not saying that person's name, because I do not want anyone to go to his house and fight him. I would like to, but I have not, because of this one verse in Leviticus. It's actually okay. But love your neighbor as yourself. I personally do not like to punch myself in the face, which is why I have not gone to this person's house. But we're supposed to love our neighbor as ourself and more than ourself, because I think a lot of us like to love ourselves a little extra. Like, you know what? I got an extra $5. I'm going to buy this chocolate. I'm going to buy this fancier chocolate than normal. And I'm going to eat all of it and no one can stop me. Because I've done that. For me, it's my chocolate. I don't even know what I'm trying to say up here anymore. I see so much stuff in the world that hurts me. I see people hurting other people. I see people hurting animals. I see people fighting and wars and death and famine and drugs. And there's a town in Flint, Michigan that they don't have clean water and the government doesn't care and people are dying and homes are being destroyed and everything looks terrible. But it's not. Because I see people do great things out of the kindness of their hearts, out of love. For people they don't even know, for strangers. I know when bad things happen, good people show up to help. And when bad things happen, there are people who don't know these people that bad things have happened to. There are people that don't really ever have anything to do with them, but they show up to help. And sometimes they put themselves out. Was it the Joplin tornado, Mom? Yeah. My mom has a niece, named Brianna, who, when the tornado hit Joplin, sent like $1,000 worth of stuff. Yeah, $700 worth of stuff from Wyoming to here, well, to Joplin, wherever that is. I'm directionally challenged. She didn't know any of these people, probably will never meet them. She's a bartender with a kid. One kid? Two kids? Two kids. $700 worth of stuff to strangers. I don't have that kind of money because, I work a minimum wage job. Yeah. So I'm going to repeat that into the microphone in case people on Ustream can't hear. After the $700, she spoke about it at her workplace. And they collected so much stuff that they sent several trailers of stuff. Because one person loved enough, cared enough, was kind enough to talk about it. And it's uncomfortable to talk about people needing things. It's really uncomfortable to do. It's easy to buy $4 worth of pencils and stick them in a school kit and pretend like that's really cool. And it is. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But it's harder to actually reach out to a person with yourself. Like, to see somebody having a hard time and to walk up to them, manually walk up to them and go, what can I do to help you today? And that is what we are called to do. Because that's what Jesus did. Jesus did not are there some guys over there? They look kind of bummed out. Can one of you guys, bring them some fish? Take, I'm going to make some fish from, rocks, because my dad's pretty cool. And, have a nice day! And he just sprints off. He was like, hey, guys, guess what? I love you. Here's some, I can't go very far because my mic's stuck, but here's some actual fish from my actual hand. And, also, do you want to learn about me and my dad and how cool he is? He's a pretty cool dad. He could beat up your dad. He was actually out there helping people, loving people with everything that he was, because that's what he was created to do. And so I'm going to end this with some Ephesians 5, which I was specifically told to look up and smash into this. Ephesians 5 says, follow God's example, therefore, as dearly loved children, as dearly loved children, and walk in the way of love, just as Christ loved us and gave himself up for us. That's not a gentle calling. That's not easy. This is really clicky. It's okay. If it goes out, I will just yell. It's not an easy thing to do, to give ourselves up to help somebody, but that's how we were loved. That's what we were called for. We were not called to just occasionally throw some money at a GoFundMe and not do anything about it. We were called to actively share it on Facebook and Twitter and Insta and whatever else, social media. We're called to make a post about it. We should tell people things. This is a modern example. What now? Because not all of us can afford to just pick up and leave our jobs and go out in the wilderness for however long, being like, any bears out here need Jesus? I will give you some Jesus. We can't all afford to go to other countries. But what we're called to do is do the best that we can. Guilt trip time, because honestly, we're not doing it. We are not doing enough. I am not doing enough. You are not doing enough. No one is doing enough, because there are people out there who are still struggling, who are still hungry, who are still sick, who are still dying alone, who are still dying without ever having heard the word of God, and that is my fault and it is your fault. And that hurts to say and it hurts to hear. Because if we are the body and we are not reaching, then we have failed him. We have failed ourselves, we have failed this world, and we have failed God. And that is not something that I want to walk around telling people. Guess what? I saw someone hungry the other day, and I didn't do anything, and I have failed God. That stings. That hurts. That's painful. Because not only have you failed that person that you didn't help, you have failed your Father, your Creator. The reason you wake up in the morning, the reason you breathe, you have failed him. Because it's hard to be good sometimes. It's hard to be good in a world that tells us that it's easier to just care about ourselves. And I don't like to brag about this, because I always feel like a huge expletive when I brag about being nice to people. But sometimes I try to be radically kind. I like to look at you guys. That's why I keep coming over here out of the spotlight, because I can't see you, and also because it's really bright. But I try to be radically kind to people, and I try to do stuff that actively puts me out. There have been several times that I have been radically kind to people, and people, especially at my work, this happens a lot, people at my work, because I work kind of near a highway, and so we'll see a lot of need money for food kind of people. And they'll go, oh, I'm not going to give them any money. They're just going to go use it to buy alcohol. And I'm like, well, my next paycheck is not for 6 days. I have $40. And I'm going to take $40 out and I'm going to bring it to that person and I'm going to be okay. Maybe I'm going to eat a lot of ramen noodles. Probably I do that anyway. I like ramen noodles. I'm 20 years old. I'm allowed to. It's okay. That person doesn't have any ramen noodles. But now they have $40 and they can buy $40. Do you know how much ramen noodles $40 worth of ramen noodles is? It's so much. It's literally like the most ramen noodles you could ever have. You will never eat them all. It's impossible. You will die. No, it's ramen noodles are 39 cents a package if you buy them singular, and they're $3 if you get them in the 12-pack. We're talking about a metric ton of ramen noodles. Ramen noodles I cannot even conceive of. It's like a trailer of ramen noodles. This is off topic, but you understand what I'm trying to say here. Is that sometimes I like to be radically kind, and then people in my work will go, why did you do that? They're just going to go buy beer. Maybe they will. I don't care. Jesus gave fish to prostitutes. Throw the first stone. Lots of stuff in the Bible was basically like, I am the kindest because I love you so much. I'm holding this way over here because I'm yelling. I told you I was going to yell. This is still clicking. I don't even need the... He loves us a lot, guys! Like, so much! We've been gifted with all of this love. A lot of us are throwing it away, and that sucks. That sucks a lot. That's terrible. That's really sad. That's really... You see a car broken down on the side of the road, and there's somebody in the car, and you drive past it, and you like look at them, you're like, well, that's a car broken down on the side of the road. I'm busy. Walking away sound. But it's a car, so it's more like, meow. The people in that car are not thinking, well, that's probably a really nice guy. Probably on his way to go do important things, like rescue kittens from burning trees. They're going, come on, really? It's been 4 hours. It's really hot. When I was a little kid, my mom tells this story. When I was a little kid, our car broke down, and it was me and Mom and Gianna, and we were like 3. We were very small. Well, no. We were very small. I'm still small, but we were like even smaller. We were like Rachel on the stage small. And we were broken down on the side of the road with me and Gianna in the car, looking out the window like, car's not going. Okay, whatever. And people were driving past. What? Literally nobody's gonna stop? There's little kids in the car. There's Mom, and she's like, I don't know what to do. I only know how to fix a transmission, because every time we get a car, a transmission goes out. Every time. Every time. I'm like, I don't know much about cars, but I know how to change. I know how to check the oil, and I know what it sounds like when your transmission's about to go out. That's it. That's all I know. Yeah, there you go. I got one up on Jordan. Sorry. Yeah, but anyway. I get really flustered up here because I always feel like when I'm talking, people are only halfway listening and they're trying to figure out, like, when's the next joke coming in? I'm starting to feel a little bad. Starting to feel a little guilty. I like to punctuate the guilt trips with some humor so that way you're not crying, because then I'll feel bad and I'll have to come down and hug you. Be like, oh, whoops, I got one. Uh-oh, somebody bring everyone some tissues. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. And that's because I love all of you so much. It's because I am a radically, obnoxiously kind person. And I'm not saying I'm a good person, because I personally do not think very highly of myself, thanks to a slew of brain chemistry issues. But I like to think that I'm a very kind, very loving person, and if I've got nothing else going for me, it's that I radically love every single one of you. Literally any one of you could come to me and be like, hey, I'm having a hard time. And I'll be like, okay, let's talk about it. What can I do? How can I help you? Sometimes I see people crying. I don't even know what's going on. I just give them a hug. I feel bad. I want to help. I don't like to see people sad. I don't like it. And it hurts me, and it should hurt you. If you see a person crying and you think, well, that's gross. What? What? What is that? Imagine Jesus seeing you crying and going, no, I am not dealing with that today. I am in a good mood. I just ate a $5 bag of chocolates. I bought for myself. Yeah.
So what happens when you give your last $40 and you don't have 6 days to go? Did you die?
I did not die. I just ate a lot of ramen noodles.
Did you go hungry?
Did not go hungry. And you will not go hungry. No. Don't try to catch me on my technicalities here. This is mostly rambling with some message in the middle. Much like an Oreo. It's got rambling on both sides, and the important stuff, just twist the rambling off and lick the message cream out of it. That's what I want you to do. Enjoy these metaphors. Milk's favorite metaphor. From the lactose intolerant kid. We're taken care of. We're taken care of because we have God. We don't need $40. I mean, maybe we do because we still have bills to pay and stuff, but we're taken care of. In the kitchen today, someone in a bad situation saying, I don't have to worry about this because God's got me. I mean, yeah, you still need to worry about it a little bit because that's just people stuff, like we just do that, but God's got me. So I'm not as scared as I could have been because somebody one day reached out to me and said, hey, this is a really cool dude I know. His name is Jesus. He's got a really cool dad, could beat up your dad. And I would like you to be his friend. And then stuff got a lot easier because we weren't trying to go at it all on our own, all by ourselves. Because we had somebody who did the most radically kind thing you could do. I have not yet done this, but he died for us. That's the most radical kindness I have ever seen in my entire life, and that's what we are called to do. I mean, we can't all literally die, because then who would tell people about the cool dad? But that's the kind of kindness, that we are called to have. That's what we're supposed to do, is we're supposed to metaphorically die for people. Sometimes literally die for people, I guess. I mean, somebody, I don't know, I'm mumbling. And if we don't have that kind of radical kindness, then that's it. We have to be kind, we have to be good, we have to love, we have to do the things that Jesus did. I mean, it's really easy to go WWJD and give somebody $5, and it's a little harder to go WWJD and pick somebody up off the side of the road and take them in and make sure that they're doing okay and bring them to church and tell them about the Lord and make magic fish from rocks, because that's what Jesus would do. Jesus wouldn't go, I saw a lady on the street today and I gave her $5 and I'm going to post about it on Facebook and I'm going to get so many likes. Because love does not boast. It is not proud. It's not supposed to be proud. Love is supposed to be like prayer. It's something that you do on your own because you mean it, not because you want people to make you feel good about it. I don't get up here and tell you guys every time I pick up the trees in the Walmart garden center because I feel sad that they're knocked over. I don't get up here and tell you guys that we have a stray cat that we've been feeding and taking care of because it's sad and it's a little cat. I could. It'll make me feel nice and you guys go, aw, that's so sweet. But that's not what I'm supposed to do. That's not what you're supposed to do. We're supposed to love people because we love people. We're supposed to care for them because we're told to care for them, not because we want somebody's attention. Jesus didn't perform miracles because he wanted likes on Facebook. He did not walk on water so we would take Insta pictures and go, look at this cool thing. He did it because he cares about us and he wants to see us do well. And that's the kind of kindness that we're called to have. That's the kind of radicality that we're supposed to be doing. Got radical Christians killing people and telling people that they're all going to die. That's terrible. That's not the radicality we are gifted. This is the radicality we are gifted. This is what I want to see more. More yelling on stages. More yelling. Petition. This is what I want from people, is I want to see more. Because we can do more. There's so much more. There's so much more love, and I've seen it in all of you. There's so much more kindness. There's just so much more. And if we are the body, why are we only being one leg? Why are you only choosing to be part of a hand, to just put a Band-Aid on? Why aren't his hands healing? Why aren't his words teaching? Why are you going up to someone and says, why is the sky blue? And going, 'cause it is. We're supposed to be showing them God's love and mercy and healing and compassion and patience and joy and all of the fruits of the Spirit that I can't even think of right now because I'm so frustrated. Why are we only doing things part way? He did not do things part way. If he had done things part way, we would not be here. We cannot do things part way because, like Wendy said, that there's a generation that's coming after us. I'm kind of part of it. I am it, and I'm yelling. This is what we need. Doo-doo. But there's a generation that's coming after me. And I need to do something for them. And I'm trying. We're called to show people that Jesus is the way. And if we're not doing that, then we are not being his body. If you walk out of this building today and you say to someone, I'm a Christian, and you are not loving people, you're lying to yourself, you're lying to that person, you're lying to him. Because he did not have followers who were Christians and say, I'm a Christian, look at me, I'm a Christian. Do you know what those people did? Collected money and got tables flipped in the temple. They were not followers. They were braggers. They wanted to be big and bad. They wanted to say, look at me, I'm doing so good. But they were not helping. They were not saving. They were not teaching. They picked a title that they thought was fancy, and they went by it. And if you're doing that, you're doing something wrong. And when I get up here and I tell you guys that you're doing things wrong, it's because I've looked at myself in the mirror and I went, oh man, I did a thing wrong. And I felt so bad about it that I wanted to yell at someone because misery loves company. That's basically it. Like if I get up here and I'm like, I think we should give more money to charity. It's like because I think I should give more money to charity. I think we should feed more homeless people. It's because I think I should feed more homeless people and I'm not doing enough. And I want other people to feel like they're not doing enough. So maybe we can all do something together and then we'll have like so much more stuff get done. Because we don't come to church because Could you stop? We don't come to church because we like gathering in this like semi-cooled building. We could do that but we could do that at our house. There could be TV involved. We come here because we love to see the people. We love to do things together. We like the fellowship. We like to be in a group. We like to feel like we connected to somebody with a similar thing. People like to do that. It happens all the time. We like to be next to people who we think are similar to us. They have similar interests. This is pretty cool. If you get together and you do things together with other people, then more stuff gets done because there's more people. It's just math. It's very simple. I don't know a lot of math, but it's pretty easy math. More people doing more things equals more things getting done. And that's all I'm asking. I'm not asking you to go out today, pull every cent out of your bank account, and give it to an animal shelter. You could if you really wanted to, but that might put you in a bad place, and I'm going to have to give you $40 to buy ramen noodles. That's not what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking you to show kindness like he showed us kindness. I'm asking you to show love like he showed us love. I'm asking you to be as radically good, I should say, as you can be, because that is what people remember. You watch a video on Facebook, it's not about somebody giving someone $5 and then posting it. It's about, man jumps into literally a waterfall to rescue a dog. Crazy. That's what is expected of us. That's the kind of radical goodness that we are called to have, and I want to have more of it. I personally want to have more of it. I want to do more. I want to pick up even more trees in the Walmart Garden Center. It's closed now, but I did pick up so many trees because they're so sad on the ground. I want to rescue even more cats. I can't. I have allergies. But I want to, and that's the important part.
The thing is, Eliahn, you got to realize no matter how small, from Rachel, if you can walk, you're an example for somebody.
I want to touch on that real quick. No matter how small you are, from Rachel, who is 5? She's 5. Rachel, who is 5. You are an example for somebody. So if you're saying, I'm not an example for anybody, I shouldn't be an example, I'm a terrible example, too bad. There's babies out there watching you learning how to say the S word. Yeah. You think I'm kidding? Do you know how much small profanity I've had to cut out because now I have nephews? Be like, oh, shucks. Because I don't want Jace to learn how to say that. He probably already knows, but I don't want him to know for me. So if you are out and you see someone who needs help, and let's say you're out with some friends, and your friends are going to look at you like, too bad, get new friends. Those aren't the friends you need to be hanging out with. If you stop to help somebody and your friends are like, what are you doing? I'm being an example of Jesus' love on earth. And they go, that's a little weird. And you go, that's okay. Because you should go, that's okay. There's so many songs that are like, what are people going to do if I tell them I love Jesus? And some of them are going to persecute you. And you're like, that's a thing, and it happens, and it's sad. But mostly what's going to happen is if you love Jesus and you do what he wanted you to do, when you die, you're going to achieve paradise, which is a lot cooler than people going, I don't want to kind of hang out with you because sometimes you're a little weird. Well, that's cool because I have a really cool dad that wants to hang out with me when I'm forever, but also when I'm dead. Like, he wants to hang out with me all the time, but later on I'm going to meet him in his house and we're going to have the biggest party. It's going to be slamming. Everybody's going to be there. You could even be there. Come to church with me on Sunday. Service at 10:30. I'm not kidding. Invite your friends just like that. They'll be even cooler about it. It works. It works every time. Get people in the doors. Get people into heaven. Sometimes that's all it takes. Get people in the doors. Get people into heaven. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a cool, passionate way to end this. And I'm just mostly out of stuff, so I'm just kind of rambling. I'm not doing peace out. Stage dive. I guess basically what I really wanted to say with all of this is don't yell at people in Arby's. No, that's don't do that, but that's not what I'm trying to say. Is that we have to be Jesus on earth. We have to be his hands and his feet. We have to be his voice. We have to be the message. We have to be so kind and so good and so loving that people see him in us, and if they don't, then we've done something wrong. And we have to do a little better. I'm not saying that I'm going to walk out of this building and I'm going to be perfect. Actually, I'm probably going to be just the same person I was when the guilt trippy effect of this message wears off of me. But we have to try to be more than we are because we are called to. We have to try to be what Jesus was all those years ago today. We have to show people the way that he loved us by loving them the way that he loved us. We have to reach out. We have to help. We have to do more, be more. We have to be different. Lifeline plug. We have got to love people the way he loved us because that's WWJD. That's what he would have wanted. That's what we're called to do, is to love people so much that there is no way that it is not from God. That's all I got.
Eliahn talked to me about this on Wednesday night. And what I told her I would do is prepare a sermon and then be fully prepared to go, what she said. So, what she said.
I know what we're doing Wednesday night in class this week.
And so if you want to see my sermon real quick, I can go through my 32 slides. No, I'm just kidding. Let's just pray. How about that? Heavenly Father, we come to you, Lord, and we thank you for Eliahn. We thank you for her example. We thank you for calling us out. We thank you for her ability to get up here and to speak and to share and to talk about the things going wrong in her life, Lord, and help us feel a little bit more normal. And Lord, help us to take on her challenge. Help us to take on the challenge to be kind. Help us to take on the challenge to be radical with our love. We ask all this in Jesus' name. Amen. That's all we have. We'll take a few minutes and then we'll have a business meeting pretty quick. And go on. Thank you very much, Eliahn.